What's up, Malphas? It's your boy, Malphas. I'm man looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, and of course, I'm joined with the one, the only Afro Kami 765. How you doing today, my guy?
You already know. Local neighborhood scumbag here to give the folks their daily dose of dirtbag. Same gimmick, different day. We're here to talk some wrestling. You guys already know this skit.
We got some big news. Press conference tomorrow. According to sources, Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns is being set up for, I almost called it Blood Money Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. I just saw the name on Twitter.
So in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so it's going on in Saudi Arabia. It's the breaking news. We didn't think we would get Logan back because I know he's supposed to have a fight in December, but apparently he loved it, which I am cool with. They had a podcast to set this up, so I guess it's been playing because I'm just saying the podcast come out on Tuesday.
Yeah. And they filmed it like a week beforehand sometimes.
Yeah, and it was once you look at it again after realizing what happened, you kind of realize, okay, they playing this. Not the initial thing, but like the ending.
Yeah.
Because you could tell it was some time after the end. He didn't just leave. You could tell that he probably talked to him like, hey, let's set this up for Crown Jewel. You a big name. Triple A don't want to use Goldberg and them anymore, so let's get somebody who's
which is a good thing for us fans. Let Goldberg be in peace.
He not even did, just let him be in peace. Tor, how do you feel about the Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, maybe Universal Championship, maybe not, at Crown Jewel?
I think I was telling you this before we started. I think this is Saudi Arabia and Crown Jewels is the only pay-per-view I think where you get away with this match off a no build story-wise, just like Crown Jewels always been that place for the random dream matches. Although I don't know if we count this as a dream match, I do think that it could be a
The Saudi Prince do like Logan Paul.
Yeah, I was gonna say Logan Paul. He's got that worldwide demo, yo.
I'm saying,
but I think I hate to say it, but I could see it being a little bit disappointing because as amazing as Logan's been, I don't think he's ever worked with somebody that works the way that Roman Reigns does. Because whether people want to acknowledge it or not, Roman Reigns has a very it's a modern take on classical wrestling is the way I like to put it. Like you get your Superman punches and the spears and all that jazz, but he knows how to work a headlock. He knows how to pull the crowd in and take the air out of the room just long enough for you to get back for the huge pop. And I'm hoping Roman doesn't like just expose a whole bunch of Logan's flaws live in Saudi Arabia, because where Logan's been working more of that, he's been working more of that high flyer type style. I mean, he's super athletic. We all know that. But I don't know if he's worked with somebody that's as big or as dominant as Roman Reigns is, like in a singles match. So I feel like in a lot of ways, this will be the real test whether Logan Paul is really built for this or not. You know, I mean, from all we've seen so far, he's got the juice. Like he can do it. But like this is literally, I mean, you're throwing him in there with the number one ranked wrestler in the world as far as PWI is concerned. So I mean, this is make or break. But I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna talk shit accordingly.
Yeah, this is his test. By the way, he ain't gonna get like people talking about the Three Amigos compared to Edge versus the way he did it to Ray. You're not getting Three Amigos against 265 pounds Roman Reigns.
Nah, Roman's not going up to the Three Amigos for Logan Paul. I hate to tell y'all that.
Like
He might
I know
get frog splash off.
I know he. I want to see his moveset with Logan. Is it gonna be different since he ain't dealing with Rey Mysterio this time? So I want to know how he adjusts his moveset.
That's what I was thinking too. This is the first time we've seen him work with someone that's a good bit bigger than he is.
I'm actually the more I talk about it, the more it interests me compared to what I first was. Because I'm curious to see. Like, does he
Yeah, I
have?
mean it's definitely it's an attention grabber of a match. No doubt about that. It is an attention grabber.
Because if he
Whether
can,
it's gonna be good or bad is the question.
because if we get a "this is awesome" chant, and I'm like,
Because never forget, people, Saudi Arabia gave us one of the worst wrestling matches ever with 4 of the best wrestlers ever in the Brothers of Destruction versus DX. One of the worst matches ever. Everyone was past their prime and too old, but it was 4 of the greatest in-ring workers we've seen. And from all different variances, you know what I mean? Triple H don't wrestle like Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels doesn't wrestle like Kane. Kane does wrestle like The Undertaker, but you guys get what I'm saying.
yeah, and a thing like that. Hey, I saw somebody say that no matter what, this will be the best crown jewel main event they ever had because every other one is
Bro,
horrible.
I can
It's
damn
easy
near
to
agree with
beat
that.
it. It's
Because
easy to beat it.
like I said, Saudi Arabia has given us a lot of what we thought were dream matches that just, because like I said, as a kid, Brothers of Destruction versus DX, those are my 2 favorite Attitude Era tag teams. I'm an Undertaker stan, if you don't know. Me and old Mark share a birthday. I've been an Undertaker fan literally for as long as I can remember. So, but to see how bad that match was, and to top that off, I'm pretty sure Saudi Arabia was also, or was it Saudi Arabia or WrestleMania when we got that horrible Roman versus Undertaker match? I think it might have been WrestleMania.
Oh,
But
it was Goldberg. Bobby Lashley was one main event. The other one is Undertaker Goldberg, which he almost killed Undertaker.
Yeah, he almost killed the Undertaker. Fuck Goldberg.
Yeah, so those are matches that's been the main event. That's why I say it's Bobby Lashley and Goldberg was the best match of the group, and it was like 2 stars if you got.
And what? It only lasted like what? 10 minutes? 15? They beat the shit out of each other with kendo sticks, didn't they? If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, they did. It just and Goldberg was gassed, but he did have that one spirit that actually made the match decent.
He ran out of gas quick.
He was laying down for long enough that he could get that one spear off full speed that made it look kind of decent.
I was upset. Nigga, cardio wasn't right.
He speared him off the thing. His cardio is better than Dominic's. We got to talk about that. My boy was gassed, Torrey. I'm like, you've been wrestling 8 years. How are you gassed against Edge?
You're only 25, bro.
We gotta
get the cardio right.
When we get to Raw, we're gonna talk about it. When we get to Raw, we're gonna talk about it. But let's look over this PWI list, Tor. Let's get to it real quick.
All 500?
No, we only gonna do top 20. We don't care about that. How did you feel about it? How did you feel about it in the first place, Tor?
Honestly, I think that the first, let's see. I mean, you got Roman up top.
Yeah, you got
Drew McIntyre rounds out 20.
Yeah, you got Okada, Punk, Hangman, Bobby, Cody, Bryan.
Okay, I disagree wholeheartedly with Hangman. You can put Hangman in the top 20, but there's no way in hell Hangman Adam Page is up at number 4. I'm not okay with Hangman being above Bryan Danielson.
But this kayfabe though, so you gotta give him that kayfabe. He was a champion.
No, I don't. I don't.
Kayfabe be him. Bryan.
I was gonna say, listen, they killed kayfabe. I'm just keeping it dead, okay? There's no way in hell that Adam Page should be above Bryan Danielson on any list unless it's most boring title reign.
Torrey, but it's going by championships and how much you won. That's why Roman easily number 1.
But
if it was on wrestling, there's no way CM Punk should be 3rd. But I'm
always gonna be okay with Okada being number 2 because I don't care if Okada don't even wrestle in the year, you still should put that nigga in the top 10, in my opinion. because the Rainmaker, it don't matter when the match is, who the match is against. You know, Kazuchika Okada's going to show out, and he's going to bring it.
Yeah, I just
Who do we
got
have
into
here? Big E at number 9. I think that's a respect to Big E. I hope that his neck continues to heal. I almost forgot about him. He's been out for so long. It's kind of weird to me to see him that high up on the list, but I guess it was just earlier this year when he was having his.
My problem with that is, though, John Moxley should be ahead because you can't say John Moxley took time off, but Big
Where's
E
Mox at?
12.
Oh,
Gresham.
yeah, that's kind of weird. Moxley, and I don't hate John Moxley. I dislike John Moxley's wrestling to a certain extent. Where's my boy Will Ospreay at? He's got to be in this top 20 somewhere.
No, he ain't. He 28. So Will's 28.
Oh, 28, you said?
Yeah.
That's horrible. This nigga just had 4 5-star matches in a week last month, bruh.
But they going off kayfabe though, and he lose a lot. Kayfabe.
No, but he's also the NWD. He's also the New Japan United States champion.
But some of this is weird though. I don't know how. Like Jonathan Gresham, number 10.
I love Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona is number 11.
He's number 13.
Really?
He's 13.
See, I should have put on my glasses before we started.
But Seth Rollins, number 17. I understand because he lost a lot, even though he probably should be top 30.
As long as he's in the top 20, I'm cool.
Kenny Omega is number 19, even though he missed almost the entire time being on this whole year.
Yeah, I was about to say he missed a good majority of this year.
Like he just came back for 3 matches.
Who knows how long?
That's what I don't get. I'm like, okay, you said Mox can't be in top 10 because he missed time. Kenny missed more time.
I want to ask you this while we're thinking about Kenny Omega. Is it weird? Is it weird that he's suspended, but he's still at Sega headquarters in Japan doing promo for AEW Fight Forever? Shouldn't you being suspended, shouldn't that be a little bit of a
I don't think he's allowed to. I don't think he's allowed to do things there.
Well, I mean, doing promo for the game is still doing stuff for the company.
No, it ain't official though. According to what I read, the report said it's not. He can't do nothing officially on AEW.
Oh, okay. So we're just gonna act. So him doing promo for the game just don't. Okay.
Well, they could say it's on his own time. Hey, listen, we don't pay him for that. This list is kind of trash. It don't stay up because if you go off time off Kenny Omega, Big E, and Jonathan Gresham, Tony Khan didn't let him wrestle the whole time he was in Ring of Honor.
The whole time that he was Ring of Honor champion after Ring of Honor folded, every title defense he had was at some indie promotion. The only time he defended on TV is when he lost it to Samoa Joe, I do believe.
Yeah, if you talk about from June to June, when did ROH go in and get bought by Tony Khan? He didn't wrestle for like almost on TV for like 8-10 months. He barely wrestled at all because Tony Khan like, nah, we finna get this belt off of you.
PW, and I hate it because Pro Wrestling Insider, PWI, usually their list, I respect it to a certain extent because I feel like it's as close to a media-made but fan-built list as you're going to get. But I feel like there was a lot of shilling done on this list. Like a lot of people were up a lot higher than I felt like they should be. But who am I? I'm just a goddamn wrestling fan that talks on the internet. So
it was some strange. Like Randy Orton was like 49th. I'm like, if you're going off kayfabe, he was the tag team champion for the whole time.
I was about to say good at least half the year, so he should. But when we're talking top 500, I guess you've got some wiggle room for the placement of those top 50, I suppose. But
my thing is Kenny Omega missed almost the entire time.
Yeah, there's no reason, and I love Kenny. He's the cleaner forever, but he, like you said, he was literally out for most of 2022.
What I'm saying.
And then once he came back, he wrestled all of 2 matches before he's been suspended for who knows how long.
Well, they said June to June, so by the time you guys, that means he didn't have the 2 matches, so he didn't even have those. If it's
I was gonna say those didn't even count there. So basically, they just counted him losing the belt to Hangman.
Essentially, I guess he was. I guess they say AEW champ, we gotta put him in top 20. I guess if you AEW WWE champ this year, you gotta be in top 20 again. But was Brock in the top 20? I didn't see Brock, but that list was strange.
See Brock, and he put on some bangers this year.
Yeah, that list was strange. But Roman Reigns is number 1. If it's kayfabe,
you can't
100%
argue with that, in my opinion. I mean, that's the one. And I'm not going to argue about Okada at 2 either. I will constantly argue about Hangman at 4 and Bryan Danielson at 7. If anything, those should be switched around, in my opinion.
But he technically, if you kayfabe, he beat him.
Yeah, but
like if you call kayfabe, Torrey,
but Bryan Danielson carried him to beating him. Like, go back and watch Hangman Danielson 2.
Kayfabe, Torrey.
He carried both of those matches. He carried him to the draw and carried him to the win. Both of the times they wrestled. And then the third time, Danielson finally beat him with the quick roll-up. Because for some reason, we're still trying to protect lame man Page.
But like I said, kayfabe wise, you can't just be like, oh, he carried because it's kayfabe.
Kayfabe is dead, Zelma.
Not to PWI Insider who made a list complete off kayfabe, but then had people that wasn't even kayfabe.
Bro, they're killing kayfabe by putting these niggas that ain't wrestled in this damn near whole year that high on the list. They're kayfabing themselves.
Yeah. I saw people that said John Moxley should have beat Roman Reigns for one. I'm like, no.
Oh,
he should be in top 10.
Yeah.
Especially if it's kayfabe. Ain't no way. No. That's not even out. That is no way. I don't know how y'all even thought that.
I think people measure it in blood sometimes. They're like, oh, John Moxley bleeds the most, so he should be up top.
That's that blood vote.
When that nigga can learn to hide his razor blade, we can talk.
We got one more thing before we get into the regular news. We got Velveteen Dream versus EC3. EC3 said he's recording people in his home of his penis.
He's out there recording dongs.
Yeah.
And this is on top of, you got to remember, Velveteen Dream also, he had a bad rap when it came to the fucking Performance Center. A lot of the coaches there didn't get along with him. He was one of those, there's no argument. Velveteen Dream's super talented in ring. And I feel like it was wrong if they let him go over those child allegations that were then proven to be lies. But if he's recording other people's wangs in the bathroom and allegedly doing cocaine with wrestlers on NXT and shit, yeah, you gotta let him go.
They said he had an incident that is the reason why. I forgot what it was. I'll look it up while we talking.
I thought it was the whole doing drugs thing. Like, I thought he didn't pass a wellness check or something like that. I could be wrong, though.
I'm finna look it up real quick. But as we talk, EC3, he responded to EC3. He said, EC3, what was we doing in your house? What was we sniffing in your house?
Oh, see?
And then he told the story that the person that he was with, it was 2 other people, that they went through the whole thing and it showed nothing. So everything you said is a lie. And he called him a piece of and he a liar. And he said he randomly looked up WWE. Now he looked up his name. He always look up his name. Wrestlers be liars. They look up their name all the time, see if they popping.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure somebody tagged you too in it because they're like, oh, EC3 said this about you. That's not a lie. How much you randomly looked up WWE. But he found out, he said EC3 is a liar. And I did not know that I would be talking about EC3. We want to not control his narrative and shut up. And Velveteen Dream was arguing.
Poor EC3. I wonder how he's been doing since he lost Braun Strowman.
He lost his 2 big styles, right?
I would say he lost Cross too. You're right.
Oh,
What was
okay.
Karrion Kross on this PW Insider list? If we're just randomly throwing people, because he have his whole NXT run, he better be top 50.
I don't even remember. He was taken off TV for a car accident in which internally they
Yeah,
said he was doing drugs,
see,
allegedly.
that's what I thought.
And then they had a lot of heat with wrestlers and stuff backstage, so they're like, "Yo, you a
Yeah,
headache." Cause even through the allegation, me and Torrey talked about it before. They stuck with him throughout all that, even though. But
they did. I mean, that car wreck that took him off of TV was in 2020, and they didn't officially release him until midway through 2021. So he got paid that whole time, and then for 3 months after that. So I mean, they
yeah, they
didn't
said
do him wrong per se. I mean, he stayed paid through that whole almost year of them going through the investigation and all.
yeah. So he had an internal investigation and found out that. So that's why he's not there. It's not because of allegations. I know a lot of people saying it, but then they talking about he should be brought back. The people didn't want him back.
Yeah, if you can't get along with the coaches and the trainers, how do we bring you back? And if we got to worry about you doing key bumps with the goddamn new guys, how do we?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, they technically did it too, but the problem is
What
you
yeah.
having car wrecks and you fighting gym people while you own it.
Yeah. You
Even
can't
if
be
the other
doing
people are
wild
doing,
shit when you're under 6-figure plus contracts. That's crazy.
yeah. So I think it's more the accident and him fighting people because according to Undertaker, they always this is what they did back in the day. but but
Oh
but
yeah.
I never heard of anybody. All the people you said you were doing it with, none of them got in a fight with a random gym person or had a car accident or try to fight the police or none of that crazy stuff you've been doing lately. so keep it under check. If you're gonna do it, keep it under control.
Hopefully, Velveteen Dream finds himself in a decent indie scene somewhere. Because, like I said, the guy's got the skills. He can go in the ring, and like his microphone work was good too. I mean, like it just sucks because we see it so many times where people are amazing in all facets of the ring, but they're just garbage outside of it, so you can't do nothing with it.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about WWE and AEW this week, the biggest news, and then we're gonna go to our match of the week. Women's and men's. WWE NXT. They have a new logo. Tori, are you excited?
I am. We got rid of the 2.0. It may be white and gold, not black and gold, but I will give it a try next week. I will be watching NXT just to see if we can feel a difference.
From what I saw, it's pre-taped next week, so I think they working on something
Oh,
else.
okay. Maybe I'll wait until the week after.
No, from what I read, it looks like it's gonna be amazing. My boy Bill, shout out to Bill from Twitch. He told me he went and he said the first show was meh, which I said the same thing. It was absolute. I bragged about NXT, but outside of that first match, it was awful to her. Even
I
though it was the
see.
most viewed
That's
one
what
they had.
I've been seeing a lot of people that even though we got that big announcement, the 2.0 gone, they said that the matches were a wee bit lackluster. Even though didn't we get Solo Sikoa going over your boy Carmelo?
Yeah, but that looked like it was like it was one of them surprise thing where he wasn't supposed to come out. Then the heel was like, "Oh my god!" And then he did all his big moves and stuff like
I
that.
want to say they should change Solo Sikoa's like ring gear because it just looks too much like he's trying to copy Samoa Joe from what I saw.
I think that's
Like
kind
he's
of.
little.
I think that's his.
I,
I think ain't that Rikishi old gear? Kind of like before he was Rikishi, the one before.
I don't know because the Wild Samoans wore tights. They didn't wear them shorts. They wore like the capri looking
I'm talking
tights.
about right before Rikishi. When he something when did he wear something similar when he just became when
Maybe
he
he
was
did,
starting to
but
get fat.
when I see half black, half red, when I see half black, half any color, I think of Samoa Joe.
But by the way, his moveset looks like his daddy. If y'all
Oh
never
yeah,
seen young Rikishi,
I
his
hate to
whole
say it,
moveset.
and this might be a wee bit racist, but he's got the Samoan moveset. I mean,
He got it
hip
better than
attack,
all of them, honestly.
hip attack in the corner, Samoan drop. He's got an amazing Samoan drop though, but I attribute a lot of that to Carmelo being able to get up that high for him to get under him for the Samoan drop because
Yeah.
that's half the battle.
Yeah. But like I said, the finale was a surprise, like, oh my god, and then the heel was on his toe and the babyface was hot. Even though technically he's a heel because he went to Bloodline, so I don't kinda
Yeah, I was gonna say.
they just want to give somebody they just want to give him gold. But Pretty
So
Deadly versus the Creed
is
brothers.
the North American Championship going to SmackDown?
We'll see tonight. We'll see shortly. Pretty Deadly versus Creed brothers was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Julius Creed is that dude.
And I said this last week. He could be a solo wrestler. Like that kid he's got it. I don't know what his promos are like, but as far as in ring goes, he's got the juice.
And even in that match, I'm gonna give his brother credit. The other Creed brother, basically, they tied him up because he the main one. So they handcuffed him to the cage, and it was 2-on-1.
What, the bigger one, right?
Yeah, they handcuffed him to the cage, and his 2-on-1 offense was amazing. You felt like, oh, he gonna do it. He gonna do it. They sold you that old school feel. Like, oh, his brother can't get in the match and help, so he gonna do it by himself. And they kept selling near fall, and Pretty Deadly ended up getting him at the end. And while Julie took the only ring, I'm like, that's
paying attention to Pretty Deadly though, because Pretty Deadly are an amazing tag team. Like their cohesiveness, their teamwork is top notch. Definitely future tag team champs, almost without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah. The other thing, my boy Bill told me for next week, watch the first match, which they already Axiom versus Nathan Frazier, which if you watch the first one was really fun. It's gonna be some fast, but and he said watch the main event because it's gonna pop you. And I'm like, and he said it's probably the best match NXT had since the old takeovers. And I'm like,
that's saying a lot.
And he said it's gonna be it's JD versus Tyler Bate. You know what they
well that could definitely be a banger.
You know what I'm saying? You know what they're gonna do. You know what those two gonna do. Come on now. Tyler Bate versus JD. They gonna kill it. So but they said it's a surprise at the end. They're gonna make you, if you're an NXT UK fan, gonna make it. They're using a lot of NXT UK people, I see, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad they didn't just. I know they released a lot of people with taking away NXT UK, but I'm glad that more than a few of them got the ride over to the main NXT.
Yeah, and they said it's gonna be temporary until they get NXT Europe back. So NXT Europe be back next year. That's Shawn Michaels' big project. By the way, what's his name? We gonna talk about this but Torrey, they said it's gonna be really good next week, so everybody should watch. That would be a tough. He said the first episode was nah, and then he like after that, it gets really good. I'm trying to see. Triple H just hired the dude, like 3 old people from NXT to run NXT again. So let me see. I'm trying to figure out what his name was. What he hired. I'm trying to see who was it that he just hired.
If Tony Khan was smart, he'd hire Gabe Sapolsky.
I'm trying to see who was it he hired. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. I'm trying to see real quick. But before we go to that, I want to talk about this. I'm gonna say who you hired. I like what Triple H is doing because he's not full selling, just going big. He's slowly getting people over.
There's a build. It's not just trying to throw everything at you all at once.
Because I know people complaining, but I see people getting over that. Hey, Sheamus the most over he's been since the bar.
Yeah. Well,
Sheamus is
I don't
over.
know. After MJF roasted him on Twitter, he might not be feeling so over.
Well, he over. That dude, that crowd went nuts.
But Sheamus is an amazing wrestler. It just, MJF's right. They've passed him the ball a few times, and he has dropped it a couple. Because Sheamus had one of the most lackluster WWE title reigns ever, in my opinion.
But like I said, you see Raquel get over. You see women getting over that wasn't over. You see a lot of people getting over, and they getting more time. Judgment Day finally looked like a threat compared to a joke.
Finn Balor with the bandana, yo. Let's go.
By the way, if y'all ain't watched the bump with Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano, you gotta watch. That was absolutely hilarious. I'm trying to see where like who else? Torrey, who else? There's some more people that got over. Gunther looked way more over than he ever did. Now, well,
Yeah, but
on
that
main
was only a
roster.
matter of time. It's good to see Io Shirai and Io Sky and Dakota Kai. It's good to see them getting over. Um, there's been a lot. There has. He's taking it slow. I feel like Karrion Kross is finally going to get over this time now that he's not wearing the weird BDSM leather and Scarlett's actually with him, because whether we acknowledge it or not, I feel like Scarlett is a big part of Karrion Kross's presentation, if you would. She adds a certain something that he doesn't have otherwise.
Yeah, that is true. Like I said, it's a lot of people. Braun Strowman really over, which shocked me, but he is. But
Yeah,
hey,
but we'll see how over he is. I feel like anyone that first night they come back, you've been gone for a while, you're getting that pop. Yeah, we'll see with the consistency. That's what I want to see from Braun Strowman. Are we going to get consistent bangers from him, or are we going to get lazy squashes? That's the question.
that is true. Like I said, it's a lot of people got over. He's trying to build a roster back. Vince did a lot of damage that you probably don't think about. Because
A
a lot
lot of
of people,
a lot of what we thought would be irreparable damage.
yeah. So you got to take it slow. You can't just like, oh, this person completely changed. I'm like, that's strange, especially for people that ain't smart fans.
Yeah,
If you're not a smart,
if you're just a casual person that's checking out the shows on Monday and Friday, you could be really confused.
yeah. So he didn't want to confuse them and lose them. So you see a lot of you see a lot of things like that. I can't. But he hired. I think his name was Craig. I can't remember his name, but a lot of people from the old NXT hired him back. And of course Shawn Michaels got his upgrading his position, but he doing a lot of good jobs. He doing a great job. I think I know people like, okay, all these shows ain't always these bangers that NXT was. But I'm like, yo, he got to build people back up, because if y'all ain't noticed, go back 2 months ago, some of these people was nowhere near over. They got no reaction. The crowd's been
But
crazier since Triple H
yeah,
got in charge.
I think the crowd's been hyped up off of the Triple H regime, just like the rest of us have. You can feel that new energy in there.
The first few weeks, the crowd was silent the whole time because they didn't pipe in the noise. They stopped
Yeah,
piping in the noise, and you could
and
hear
now they
it.
don't need to. See how
Yeah,
that works?
because the crowd, Vince would put out a bunch of rematches, which we're gonna talk about in a minute. Because Tony Khan seemed to be doing a lot of rematches.
Yeah,
It's
but
a lot of rematches.
Tony Khan just had this had to suspend a good portion of the top of his card.
Yeah, but a lot of people still ain't getting TV time. They probably should. He got a lot of talent on that roster.
Well, if he
But
dropped that women's division, they'd have that TV time.
we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But yeah, basically that's it. I see a lot of people over. Triple H is doing a great job. That's all I wanted to say about Raw and SmackDown. The crowds are more into it. That SmackDown crowd last week was trying to beat the Europe crowd because they were just going crazy over nothing. They were almost
Yeah.
AEW like crowd. The UK crowd was even better than them, but AEW crowds go crazy if you superplex.
But UK crowds are always going to be good because they don't get the live shows like that, all like that. That like it's one. This is the that was the first. They said that was the first stadium show in the UK in almost 30 years. The first stadium show that wasn't just at some random venue.
Yeah. AEW. Let's talk about it, Tor. Let's talk about some AEW. I noticed that AEW has become way more sports entertainment like lately. Hey, look, they hit the biggest range they hit. NXT did this week, by the way, too. It's strange. SmackDown did too. The biggest range they hit since like a year for AEW. NXT
Wrestling
since
making a comeback.
2019. SmackDown since 2019. Them the biggest ratings for even Dynamite without CM Punk.
But
Without
let's be honest, those Dynamite ratings are MJF bound.
I told MJF that dude.
I've been saying this. I've been telling niggas about MJF since he was doing Create a Pro Wrestler with goddamn Stokely as his goddamn manager in like 2017, 2018. It's good to see him finally getting the acknowledgement. It really is.
Oh, we did get a little news. WWE has reportedly held talks with Bray Wyatt, so they actually talked. So y'all can leave that alone. So maybe
That's
happen
good
one
to
day.
know. And with Braun back there, give us the Wyatt family again. Bring back Eric Rowan. It'll be weird without Brody Lee, but just Bray, Eric Rowan, and freaking Braun Strowman they just had such good chemistry. And I love Bray Wyatt. He's one of the greatest in-ring storytellers of this generation. Like, he makes you feel with his matches. So that's always good to hear. I think we're wasting Jungle Boy even more so now. Like, Jungle Boy he was over and now he's under again. Him and Jay Lethal. I mean, Jay Lethal's amazing. You could put Jay Lethal in damn near any match he's gonna perform. But I just didn't feel like I was as hyped for Jay Lethal versus Jungle Boy as I thought I'd be. Because they both have amazing in-ring.
Can we be honest? It was random, dog.
It really was. And I feel like they've ruined it with these multiple face heel turns with Luchasaurus. Like, one week he's on Christian's side, then he's on Jungle Boy's side. Now he's on Christian's side again. Like,
hey, listen, I didn't like this week's AEW as much. Outside, even though I will give this tournament has been incredible. The championship tournament been amazing. Yeah. But
Sammy versus Don Moxley was decent, but Bryan Danielson made Chris Jericho look amazing.
I love Torrey. I love Torrey, my God. But hey, listen, even if I didn't like your show, if it keep popping a 1.175 rating, keep doing what you're doing, dog. Even if I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, the ratings, if people are watching, you got something.
Now, what you did this week and I didn't like, because I did like last week's, but I didn't like this week's. But if the ratings fall off, stop doing what you're doing. Data analyst. Yeah. Don't do what you did last week. Keep doing what you did the week before. But
all I can say is I'm so happy we're gonna they gotta put the belt on Danielson. But Moxley doesn't get to be 3-time AEW world champion in the span of like fucking a month. That's stupid. Tony, if you're listening to this, just put the belt on Bryan. Give yourself an actually amazing champion. Let him have a fucking 3-4 month run until you're ready to put the belt on MJF. Like, because regardless of what anybody says, I'd be looking far ahead. And bro, Danielson versus MJF could be a classic. Like, classic feud from the build to the everything. You got MJF with his new rental faction, the Firm. They got all kinds of freaking.
That promo took too long, though. I'm not gonna lie. Having promo back to back, it was.
Yeah, but Stokely does a good job, though.
He did amazing. It was just drug on because I'm like, bro.
But I feel like anyone, you gotta, if you're doing an MJF promo, you have to put some space in between that and the next promo on your card, because you don't have anybody that's gonna get that same energy that MJF got. So putting another promo directly afterward just sort of knocks it all flat.
Yeah. So it was, and some of it
But the Firm they look like a goddamn. It looks like a vicious faction. I mean, you got W. Morrissey, you got Lee Moriarty. I'm always a Lee Moriarty fan. I can't wait to see what heel Moriarty does. You got Colton and the other Gun. You got the Gun Brothers, and you got Ethan Page, who I feel has been.
This is what I want to talk about, Tom.
Ethan Page super underrated in my opinion.
Ethan Page versus the sports entertainment version of AEW, which has become he super kicked a piece of man.
He super kicked Luigi, bro.
I'm like, you can't claim sports entertainment no more. You have a dude that's swinging pieces around the ring, dog. You are
They
sports
super kicked my
entertainment.
boy Luigi.
Torrey, can they claim just pro wrestling now, or are they sports entertainment too? Come on,
I
man.
mean, Luigi didn't have a match though. If we'd have had him in the ring,
He's gonna have
that'd
a
have
match.
been a
He's
different.
gonna be spinning a piece around.
Yeah.
You know he's
Does
gonna
that
do
count
it.
as a weapon? Does the pizza dough count as a weapon?
Could I need him to beat Ethan Page? Nah, Ethan Page
Hey,
gonna.
I ain't gonna lie. Give me Luigi versus Danhausen. I don't care. You can be sports entertainment, but give me Luigi versus Danhausen. I'm kind of stoked to see Danhausen versus Ethan Page tonight. I know it's probably gonna be a squash match,
It is
but
100%. Like you spoilers, I don't care. I ain't watching. Y'all don't need to watch it either, boy. That show tonight is terrible. I'm sorry. The only one I
it's
was
funny
looking forward to.
because where you watch NXT and I don't. I watch Rampage and you don't. So we still cover the whole spectrum at the end of the day. We pick up the shows that the other one missed.
Shout out to NXT though. They popped a 728,000 rating.
Yeah, Brett, and when they were consistently doing like 490, 520, somewhere in that range, 750, good.
But like I always told people, they put them in a bad position. They took all the main roster ready people and just took them to main roster and put a bunch of rookies who never had a match and then threw them in there and said, "Get over."
Yeah.
It gonna take them time to get over.
Poor Wesley, bro. Him and I didn't like MSK, but man, since he lost his tag team partner, he's been Pinhead Larry. He's been eating them pins.
I want to. The reason I love NXT, I want to say this too, is because I actually get to see Tiffany Stratton grow into the Torrey. She wasn't good when this the first started, but then I found Torrey. I showed Torrey her. Torrey like that can go.
Yeah,
Like this
like,
how good she developed over time. Even her gimmick, except I hated the braids and the tan though. But other than that,
but we've seen NXT revitalize a lot of careers. Look at Mandy Rose, bro. I just saw a fucking pic of her on IG holding both belts in a bathing suit. It was amazing. And then there was even a super funny comment that was like, the most amazing thing about this is that neither one of these belts has been jizzed on, which cracked me up for like a half hour. Because I keep on thinking back to goddamn Paige taking the face shot over the NXT Women's Championship.
or take contact.
Wild.
By the way, rumor.
Wild. But,
She did
and
Triple H.
Finn Balor, I mean, Finn Balor went back to NXT and we thought it was done. And he won the championship, came back, and look, not too long ago, he couldn't get a win on Raw. And now he's won like 3 matches in a row.
Apollo Crews.
Has he been doing much on NXT though?
He got this whole little weird storyline where he's going through this transformation and he got these cool vignettes that look cool.
Oh.
He did get poked in the eye by Grayson Waller and lost finally, but he won. Like he beat Grayson Waller all the time before, so I guess they tell him the story, which I don't mind. But like I said,
what's Tony D'Angelo up to?
He's mostly been in backstage segments though.
Maybe he's injured. I feel like he could be good on the main roster when he gets there, honestly. I like Tony D'Angelo. He's not one of them. He's believable in ring. I don't need to see him doing a bunch of moonsaults or nothing like that. Freaking have him throw some headlocks, a couple big lariats, a suplex here and there maybe, and then crack somebody with a tire iron. I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah. But like I said, NXT, watching people develop is fun to me. I know some people, I get it. Like, I'm not going to criticize you if you be like, I don't want to see people who only wrestle their first 3 matches wrestling. I'm like, that's cool. But I like seeing people, I like to see the first product and then the finished product. So I can be like,
but I feel like NXT, and I could be wrong, but I feel like even since NXT's inception, it wasn't for the casual. You know what I feel? You know what I mean? I feel like NXT was sort of that show that was made for the short fan, made for the independent fan. I mean,
when it started out, it did start when Dusty had it. It was like corny, the same thing. You gotta, yeah.
When Dusty was doing it, we got Seth Rollins, bro. How can you say that?
Seth Rollins was doing flippy kicks around in a circle for 40 minutes in his entrance.
He grew. He grew.
That's
It was a
what I'm
growing
saying,
process.
though.
That's what NXT is for.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what it is, though. At that point.
And we got Johnny Gargano during the Dusty era too. Johnny coming in from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Here in a few years, here when we're all a lot older, we'll be able to agree. Though we don't care for Excalibur's commentary, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla gave us a lot of the top of the card right now. Johnny Gargano, Kevin Steen, the Young Bucks, Kevin Owens for people who don't know. But I mean, Cole, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla gave us a lot tier guys that we have now.
We got Gerald at the bottom.
Well, track from us talking about NXT. Let's say we got Gerald in here.
We kind of done with AEW. We know they sports entertainment now. They got piece of me running around getting super kicked.
But before we get off the AEW, I do want to say though, and I alluded to this earlier. Bryan Danielson gave me the first Chris Jericho match that I actually enjoyed, and I don't know how long. Like, that was a good match. It was almost called it. I'd call it match of the week, damn near, because it was good, but it was Bryan Danielson carrying. But it was really good. And there was one other AEW match that I actually did like, but it's escaping me. I already talked about Moxley and Sammy. I guess it wasn't that good.
The tag match Swerve and
Swerve Our Glory versus the Lucha Bros. Yep, there it was.
Yeah. That's the only other match I thought was really good.
Can we get to Arthur Ashe Stadium and put the belts on the Acclaim, though? That's all I want. That pop when they beat Swerve Our Glory, that pop is going to be next level.
Swerve got to take the pin, right? Because he's the heel, basically.
Yeah, Swerve's got to take it. I hate to say it, but Keith Lee can't take a pin in any match but a singles match. Like, otherwise it's going to be funny looking.
Yeah.
There'll be a miscast on top of Big Johnny Lee.
To some better shape. Because I keep on looking, and I know I harp on him a lot, but Keith Lee was so good, and I feel like this extra weight he's put on has taken away from his in-ring, like, moveset. Because, like, look at Keith Lee in NXT. Put a match of Keith Lee in NXT damn near any time once he has the belt for the first time onward, and put it in any match he's had in A. There's a significant difference. And he's a significant amount larger. I saw Mia Yim, which is his wife. I saw her talking about on Twitter how it all came down from when he had that respiratory infection and he had COVID on top of it, and literally he couldn't go out or it would kill him. I understand that. But if we're past that and he's back to working ready, shouldn't he at least try to regain some semblance of his former shape?
I don't know about that situation. Have y'all watched Main Event? Triple H seems to just let people just go for 30-minute matches.
No, we have not watched. Maybe Gerald has. No, I have not watched Main Event.
I'm not
going to watch Main
Event. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander put on a 20-minute banger.
I figured it.
Against each other?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be fire.
And then Mustafa Ali and T-Bar, y'all know Jacoby, they put on a 20-minute banger. So I'm like, if Triple H just letting these dudes put on 20-minute bangers on Main Event?
Poor T-Bar. He's the only one left from Retribution that hasn't got a little bit of a resurgence. He's still stuck with the T-Bar gimmick. I mean,
he did a Canadian Destroyer. Mustafa Ali and T-Bar and Jacoby did a Canadian Destroyer.
Dominic Dijakovic was a monster. Can he just have his name back already?
I think he's working on it. He's just trying to get people over. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I would say.
Main Event been putting on 20-minute bang. The whole show is just one wrestling match. This is one match, like the Indians are gonna love this.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Mustafa Ali been putting on bangers on main event for years. Him and Murphy.
But Mustafa
That-
Ali,
that-
he's been putting on bangers. Period.
yeah.
Well, we'll get Gerald thoughts on some things before we get out of here, and then we're gonna do match of the week. PW top 500. Gerald, how do you feel?
Roman is one. I will never argue with that, and I can't. I'm not allowed to. You have to acknowledge him. Roman is definitely one. There was somebody missing off of there, and it kind of escapes me. Bobby Lashley at 5 is the biggest surprise to me because of how well I received it. Like he should be 5. Bobby Lashley has the look and everything. He just don't have the charisma of Roman, but he has everything else. Like I'm happy to see him
He
up
put
there.
in the work for sure.
He definitely put in the work. I know Mox is not on there. John Moxley's not on there.
He's not on the top 5. He made top 20 though.
He made top 20. And I seen somebody arguing like he should be top 10, and I was like, well, he was gone for quite a bit.
Jonathan Gresham was gone technically. Big E been
Bro,
gone.
we talked about this. Yeah. How is Kenny Omega? How did Kenny Omega break the top 20 when he was gone for damn near a year?
I don't get that. Yeah, that's
How is Hangman Adam Page above Bryan Danielson? That makes no sense. Listen, they are kayfabing themselves.
Honestly,
they're kayfabing themselves.
Torrey beat him once, Torrey.
I'm not. That will never get. Hangman Page being over Bryan Danielson is an atrocity.
Torrey, I don't care if kayfabe. I don't know how many. I don't care if he ran the belt for 6 months straight the whole year. He is not over Bryan Danielson. I don't care what kayfabe.
I gotta agree. I mean, just looking at it, surface value is just woof.
I just get what they saying though. Kayfabe, he beat him, so he can't do
that. But they're kayfabing themselves because saying that none of Big E shouldn't be at number 9 if we're going off the show like that.
I'm arguing that too though because it don't make sense. But
I know, but you see what I'm saying? We can't say, oh, it's kayfabe, but you're only kayfabing half the list.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Omega barely wrestled any time between June and June, so I don't know.
And apparently, the 2 matches he's wrestled since he came back didn't even count in the judging period. So,
PWI.
Randy Orton 49. I'm like, he's been a tag champ the whole year until he got hurt.
Exactly. You see what I mean? They're literally kayfabing themselves, and not us.
Yeah, it's a lot to that. But what else you think about it, Gerald?
I hate that PWI. Like I used to swear by it, but Dave Meltzer. The more I saw of him, the less I'm like, oh, okay, PWI really don't mean nothing. Roman.
Uncle Dave.
Like I honestly don't value Dave's opinion anymore at all. And what I do agree is, Roman being up there, Bobby Lashley being where he is, even Akota being where he is. And I haven't watched one of his matches, but I've heard. I read.
I gotta watch that guy from AAA. They say he's amazing.
And plus, like I said, Kazuchika Okada at 2, he's the only person who, in my opinion, can take a year off and still get put on the list.
Del Vikingo. I can't say his name. Vikingo.
Oh, he's
AAA
he's the one from MLW, right?
Yeah. He's AAA mega champion.
Yeah,
they've been telling me I gotta watch him, so I gotta check him out though.
He's decent. I watched I saw a match. It's been a couple years ago. It was him versus Penta, and it was good.
Yeah, he ranked number 8. What you said, Gerald?
Mm-hmm. I said, I'm seeing new people, and I do agree. Hangman shouldn't be over him. Kenny Omega shouldn't automatically get in. Cody had a big year, but he got
Cody
hurt.
At 6 is warranted. Yeah. You could have put him higher, in my opinion, even though he didn't take a belt.
But during the period, he was the TNT champion during that period.
He was, yeah. And I think he's had the most TNT title wins in AEW history. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then he had the big
champ like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Like you can't Torrey said, you can't go kayfabe and then half kayfabe. Like,
Yeah,
be
it doesn't.
consistent.
It don't work.
Yeah, be consistent. Like, yeah,
Which is what I expect to hear from Zel May. He is the king of consistency. He's the
Oh,
master of
I hate this list. I don't even got nothing to say. I'll just rant for 30 minutes if I talk about this list. But I ain't going down all 500 because I got problem with like 120. I forgot who it
Yeah,
was, but I had a problem. Like, how he
I
in the top
appreciate
100?
them taking the time to list 500 wrestlers
That's a
because
lot.
whether we acknowledge it or not, it does give a lot of exposure to the indie scene. Like I saw somehow Mance Warner made it onto that list, and I mean, I hear people talk good about Mance Warner, but my real question is, where's my boy Luigi at on this list? Is he in the top 500? No. He's out here spinning pizzas in rings. How's he not in the top 500?
Ethan Page gonna take care of all the men. By the way, I think they spoiled because Ethan Page like I'm taking care of all the clowns. I'm like, okay, Orange Cassidy finna beat.
I'm here for Ethan Page getting his shine though, and I think we're gonna get an Orange Cassidy heel turn. Just mark that down. I think it's coming.
Orange Cassidy finna get the belt and beat Pop.
Yeah, he's taking that All Atlantic Championship, and maybe that'll give it. I hate to say give it some prestige because Pac is amazing. Like, take it all the way back to 205 Live, bruh. Like when he was Neville, he was amazing then.
But Adam Cole's 18 and Kenny Omega's 19. I'm like, Adam Cole.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
And everybody know I love Adam Cole.
Adam Cole had a whole year of taking L's, and the only win he got was that weird pink belt that they did for the Owen Hart Championship that he carried for a week before they decided that looks stupid.
Hey, I love that belt, man.
I thought it was a cool looking belt. Honestly, I like it when they do abstract colors for the leather. Like I hate to go back to PWG, but they used to do like the yellow strap or the lime green strap. I like it when we do colors that aren't just black or white. That's why I like the New Japan United States that's on red leather. I think that looks good. But I mean, it just didn't make no sense. You got too many belts on another is the FTW Championship, which is another thing I'm looking forward to. Hook and Action Bronson. That could be a fire tag team.
Yeah, Gerald, I want to know your thoughts before we get because we gotta get off here. But I want to know because I don't want to go into the other guys' time. Gerald, I want to know your thoughts on the NXT Gold and White now.
You combined two of them. You combine the Dusty's old ways with Triple H's ways to combine that. And if you give the product that was, where sadly, Velveteen Dream was putting on great matches with, Johnny Gargano as your main event, you put on those type of matches, then I feel like that's the way going forward. Not a lot of people was feeling this, but I'm actually for it now.
Dropping the 2.0 did a lot.
It did. Whew. It did quite a bit. But I wanted to, it seems like WWE is going in an entirely different direction soon as Vince left. Why not make NXT a little bit different than Vince's vision? Like how you have a vision for something you don't watch. Like bring that vision, bring that black and gold back. So you say Triple H is still in charge because Shawn Michaels is in charge, but incorporate some of the new things. Like I don't know, Quincy. I got a question about that one day. I don't understand Quincy's character. It's different.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's basically the old visceral gimmick mixed with gold though.
Pretty.
I guess when you put it like that, it sort of is like the old viscera.
Yeah.
It's literally right before the Undertaker made him into that white-eyed demon thing.
Yeah,
like people forget about that. Yeah, before he
King
took
Mabel.
his eyes and put his finger on his eyes, his eyes turned white.
Man, WWF. That's just like, oof, good grief. But yeah, I do like the black and gold. That sounds good. And I know we getting ready for Logan Paul and Roman, which is
that's
all.
So
That's
do you think Roman Logan, is it going to be a banger or is it going to be a bust? It has the potential to go either way.
We already decided it's going to be the best main event of this Crown Jewel ever because they all have been terrible. So it got a very low bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The standard is not set super high for that.
Like Goldberg versus
Taker.
Him and then that horrible DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. When we took my two favorite tag teams of the Attitude Era and then made a mockery of them.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley Goldberg was the best match, and that match wasn't
that good.
It was a lot of kendo sticks and niggas running out of breath.
Logan Paul just cut a promo on SmackDown for people that don't know. We're going to get out here for Friday Night Year. He basically played into the what chant because he didn't know what the what chant was, and a lot of wrestling fans was upset about that. I'm like, he openly admits.
Roman gave him the knowledge.
Yeah. But in this episode, he just did a promo, and he let them do the what chant as like a nod to that, because a lot of wrestling fans were like, oh, he don't know what the what chant? He's not a real fan. I'm like, bro, you do realize he openly admits before last SummerSlam he didn't pay attention to wrestling. He admit that on his podcast.
He said he was a casual watcher as a kid, like most people were.
Most people are.
I know a lot of people who just literally watched wrestling because it was on TV at dinner time, and that's what you didn't have a whole bunch of channels back in the day, and it came on the free channels, it came on Fox, it came on freaking UPN back in the day, or the CW. I mean, TNT. It was there.
TBS.
But are we doing match of the week?
Paul Heyman back. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, we're about to do match of the week. But I just want to go. He actually played into the what chant, what I thought was cool because a lot of wrestling fans had a problem with it. And they saying what, so they playing into it. By the way, it was completely orchestrated. That wasn't just some random call out. They doing it tonight. They having a match tomorrow. This is gonna be announced for Crown Jewel. So they played it. Match of the week. I'll go first. Then mine is. It was tough. I have to give love to Johnny Gargano and Chad Gable. Yeah, I had to give love to them because, of course, it was Johnny's first match back. But I gotta give it to Danielson and Chris Jericho for match of the week for men.
Yeah, that was mine too.
And women's, I gotta give it to. Y'all don't have to do women's. I'm gonna do one.
It's gotta be the tag team match. It's gotta be Raquel and Aliyah versus Io and Dakota Kai. I can't other women's match that went that hard.
Suzuki and Saya Kamitani. That was amazing, man. I like that, man. That was fun.
Oh, okay.
That's Stardom for people that don't know. They had a show September 11th, so I watch everything. Like I said, even I said I call myself a casual hardcore. Daryl, your match of the week.
Swerve and Glory, and
that was up there.
What's a no? Yeah,
the Lucha Bros.
Yeah, that's the one for me. It was different, and I just want Keith Lee to lose a little bit of weight and get his spark back so he can be a main eventer.
Yeah, he's intro. He just got to put the work in.
Yeah, and the women's, I do that tag match was, because now you got a new direction for this new stable.
Yeah, Damage Control looking something fierce like.
Bailey looking pretty thick.
Oh yeah, Bailey got the yeeks on deck now, yo.
Sure,
her ass definitely got fatter during the time off. That motherfucker, it was not poking. The Bailey that was giving out hugs, her cakes was not poking like that.
They was poking, but not like that.
Not like that.
She an aged woman now. She didn't grow up.
I see. And even the haircut looked nice on her.
Yeah, shout out to Pam. But yeah, there's like I said, Stardom has some interesting matches. Some of it just that Torrey hates some of it because it's that that's the specific style that he ate. But all of them, some matches you got Kyrie Sane don't never do them type of matches. I don't think no more so. But they do have a lot of it.
I'm a fan of apartment wrestling.
But like I said, they have some fire matches on that too. So they do have that like that Momo want or Tumby match with Starlight Kid. That was like one of those matches total hate.
Yeah. Starlight's got they got a lot of freaking potential. Like
they do. Like I said, we got Logan Paul, Roman Reigns gonna be interesting. Shout out to everybody here. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Torrey, what can they find you?
Afro Comedy 765 on all platforms, and of course you can catch me here on Overall 99 Media talking about a plethora of random topics throughout the week.
Gerald, what can they find you?
I got diabetes.
Shout out to Gerald. Y'all will find him one day with a picket
One day.
fence and somebody that stole his mail. I appreciate
I'm gonna
y'all.
catch him picking up his paper in the morning on his front porch.
That's where you find him, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Please.
Before we go, look up Friday Night Year. They on after. Peace.